Today, Glitch Productions finally released their trailer for the Gaslight District, one of their new shows coming out this year, with the pilot airing on April 18th, less than 1 month from now. As is often the case with Glitch shows, there's some crazy spooky symbolism about the end of the world in this. So let's talk about the show, its trailer, and what to expect. And if you need even more Gaslight District information at the end of this, be sure to check out my previous video where I broke down the earlier teasers in more detail, though a lot of that will also be brought up here. Now, according to the comment left by the Glitch channel on the Gaslight District trailer, the show is a gothic crime drama about an undead family trying to find their place after the world has ended. Our main character for this story is Mel, short for Melancholy Hill, the princess of her mob family. This is led by Ken the Butcher, who Mel seems to refer to as her dad. Now, for those who are in the know, this isn't the first teaser or trailer to be released, but it's the first one that we should treat as canon, as it's the first one released on the actual Glitch channel. Though a previous one was shared by their Twitter account, and another was posted on the creator's channel itself. Still, I'll be acting as if the information given here is accurate, even if seemingly contradicted by earlier promotional information. Those seeming contradictions may be something done quite a bit on purpose in the Gaslight District. Most of you are aware of the term gaslight, which came from the early 1900s movie by the same name. This film was about a man who drives his wife insane by turning down the gas on their lamps and then claiming nothing is different when the wife clearly notices that it's gotten dimmer. This term is used today to describe the action of tricking someone into thinking they are crazy by making them doubt the reality that they are literally experiencing. And that has a lot of implications for a show that is meant to take place after the world has ended in the apocalypse. Now, the new trailer looks different than the old trailers, which appear more stylized in a darker way, though that may have just been the intent to show off the darker styled moments in an otherwise very bright show. Either way, here in the new trailer, it's mostly these interesting bright shots that feel like a really creepy stop motion animation. Most of the trailer really focuses on introducing us to the characters, and more so their crazy antics that they'll be getting up to as part of an undead mafia at the end of the world. It gets me excited for the actual episodes and what they will focus on beyond the mystery. But there were some really big lore drops hidden in some moments in the background as well. The most obvious of these is a conspiracy theory board with a strange article on it. The article seems to say that humans are born from angels in the title, something mentioned in earlier teasers as well. In the article itself, however, it says something cryptic about an angel's egg. The article claims that a human is born from an angel's egg that comes every 10,000 years, but that this egg needs to be destroyed so that the Gaslight District can live on, as the human born from this egg can destroy their world as they know it. This angel is said to be born from an angelic egg and comes every 10,000 years. The article insists that it must be found and destroyed so that the Gaslight District can live on, indicating that this is something that had to be done in the past. According to the previous trailers, the world as it once was came to an end eons ago, which could be a lie or could no longer be canon. But if it is a canon claim from within the universe that someone will be making, it would indicate that the angel egg has been destroyed before, perhaps many times. This makes sense when you consider the real-life biblical prophecies about the end of the world, such as those found in the book of Revelation at the very end of the New Testament in the Bible. This is the text that details the end of the world and the waves of destruction it will face, while also including small metaphors for the history leading up to this event. The story of Jesus Christ itself opened with the tale of how he had to be hidden away in order to grow to the proper age to perform his messianic destiny, with history being littered with stories of saviors having to be hidden away in order to not be killed at a young age and repeatedly being killed by those who knew of this cycle of rebirth. In the book of Revelation, we get a similar metaphor with a woman preparing to give birth to a child but being chased by a dragon representing Satan. She has to run into the woods in order to give birth, hiding away for over 2,000 years. These stories seem to be the key inspiration for the Gaslight District, with our main characters, the gang known as the Smiling Dead, focusing on trying to protect this egg. We can see in the trailer that Mel finds this egg, and whether she keeps it a secret or tells the others, the whole story will be about everyone else wanting to get this egg but Mel trying to hide it. Based on the previous trailers and the conspiracy boards, it's clear Mel is a character who doesn't believe the narrative that she is being fed. She doesn't believe that everything is right in the Gaslight District, and she wants to solve the mystery. She recognizes the article talking about the egg as obvious propaganda from the Gaslight District elites, which is clearly trying to get people to doubt their obvious reality that they experience. I like to think that a lot of the answers to this can be found in the earlier teasers, where a sequence of text reads that you are paranoid, the world hasn't ended, and that there is nothing hiding in the dark. After that last statement, a hand turns on one of the gaslight lamps, hinting at all of this text being lies in response to Mel doubting her reality. So basically, it seems that the people are being told that the world hasn't ended, maybe that there has been some disasters in the past, ones that turned the world into an undead wasteland, but that the actual end of the world would be the end of their lives as they know it in the Gaslight District. As hellish as this world is, the characters don't want to die, and most of the world would be easily propagandized against this angel, treating it more like a demon, instead of a potential liberator in one way or another. Based on the earlier teasers, it would appear that the world became this way due to a nuclear disaster, one that may have coincided with this mysterious egg and the angel inside of it. In this image that Mel seems to find, we can see the nuclear warheads and the egg above it. It feels to me like the nuclear disaster would have been purposely orchestrated by the same people who now control the Gaslight District in order to prevent the egg from hatching in a previous time. This would have destroyed much of the world, but it would have allowed them to remain in control of what was left. Like in many of the different prophecies, there seemed to be a resurrection of the dead that occurred, with all of the characters in the show being legitimate zombies who can't actually die, perhaps animated by the nuclear energy from the previous disaster. All of this isn't just the story of Jesus Christ, but really the history of the many religions of the world. In Christianity, Jesus accuses the Pharisees of blocking the gates to heaven, not letting themselves in or others who could gain entry in order to maintain the world as it is. In Judaism, this blame was placed on the other cultures of the world, who had previously been able to communicate with God, but also chose this timeline we are in today to delay the ultimate coming of the Messiah and the peace he will bring. Before that, the other cultures blamed their own religious classes and other guardian spirits for trapping them in situations where they maintained their power. This is why in so many ancient religions, the humans are only created to serve the gods, to farm the food and sacrifices for them, and nothing else. Now, with this show being so much about coded symbolism, there's actual codes within the trailer that can be translated to show secret messages. This was done with special thanks to our animator Aldo, who translated all of this for me while I was writing the script and while our editor Haro was putting the video together, making this video a real team effort. Most of these messages are just simple, such as one saying to buckle up at the end of the teaser, simply telling us that it's going to be an exciting ride of a TV show. Another moment that Aldo translated had a funny demand saying to put bees inside of your parents' car. The joke here is that it's a message from a devil-like figure communicating in code so parents can't see what he's telling the kids to do. But the real kicker was partway through the trailer where this really intense message appeared. This message seems to say, "The body of he who bears the mark of the hand shall suffer injury, shall feel pain, shall witness death, but is forever tethered to the soul. Upon injury, the body will persist, bolstered by the mark. It will restore itself, but never to completion. Upon death, the seal will awaken to bind the soul to the body once more. The body of he who bears the mark of the hand has become a tomb for the soul evermore and evermore." This seems to be a reference to the citizens of the Gaslight District, who can't seem to die and seem to be tethered to their bodies, their souls returning anytime they have a seemingly fatal injury, with this hand symbolism appearing everywhere in the show. All of this will undoubtedly be a huge inspiration to the show, which is all about the end of the world and maybe the time we're living in now, which many mythologies paint as the extension of an era that was meant to end a long time ago, but which humans have managed to delay. On top of that, the show just looks like a beautifully animated piece that feels almost like an interesting Tim Burton side film, as opposed to an indie animated series. But for more information on the show, be sure to subscribe here and to the Glitch channel if you haven't done so you don't miss when the episode comes out on April 18th and we talk about it here. See you guys then. Man, I do love running, especially when it's away from women who are madly in love with me. But one thing I never run from is another man. Well, 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 if it isn't my arch rival, Racer Rabbit. Shady the Bat, you're here for the magic crystal as well?